Hello everyone, it's Armen Fajnovsky with Munro Associates, back bringing you the Morey today, and this is the chief engineer.
Chief designer.
Chief
Joe,
designer.
Yeah, Joe Van Faasen. Yep.
Joe Van Faasen, and he's gonna walk us through this brand new product. Not sold yet.
No.
We're about 80% done.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
still we're in field trials right now. So we just debuted this this morning. So kind of took the cover off and started to show
Big
the
reveal.
world. Yeah.
Yeah, we
so,
missed it. I
yeah.
would have loved to see that.
Well, no, it wasn't that dramatic, but
Okay.
So
We'll throw the
call
cover back on.
Yeah, so we call it the cockroach, and we named it that, or nicknamed it that, because we want to make it really hard to kill.
Yes.
So that was really our starting point. So it's aimed at construction job sites. So a common problem there is the buggies are fairly expensive, and then they go on rent, and then the ROI just doesn't work out. So they're losing money on a lot of them. So we took the perspective of, well, let's start with a blank sheet of paper. What does the job site need? And then we kind of built up from there. So if it was an item that would break, we tried to eliminate it.
That's always best.
Or overbuild it.
Best part, no part.
Yeah.
If you don't have it, it doesn't break.
Yeah, or you overbuild it, which we have a really sturdy, solid frame. And if you can't do either of those things, then at least make it easy to get to. So we have solid axles, straight axles, front and rear, with an electric motor on each axle. So even the powertrain is like super simple.
So they're retrofit e-beams. You probably found an existing axle in the market, and then adapt electric motors, front, rear, to those axles. Are they, obviously the ones in the front can steer? Do you have rear steer? No.
Yeah, there's a motor on each axle, and then a bank of batteries that'll live underneath the car.
Do you have rear steer on this?
No.
Short base is small enough so you can.
Yeah, it has about a 207-inch turning radius, so it's very much competitive on the spec sheet with Polaris and Kubota and all
So
the
this
others.
will be a body on frame type vehicle.
Yep.
With two e-beams. You probably have a battery in between the frame rails.
Yep.
Right, makes sense.
Yep.
Are the motors the same front and rear?
Yep.
That's very good.
Yep.
Okay.
So, and you could even flip them around, so it's like common parts. But there's solar on the roof, full heat and AC. There's an onboard range extender. So right now we're looking at dual fuel, gas or diesel.
And then now for the solar here, these will be parked outside most of the time. Maybe get a few hours of use at low speed at a construction site, so you don't have a whole lot of aerodynamic losses.
No.
So do you find, how much does a sunny day get you in terms of hours use? Range doesn't really matter here, but hours.
We're still doing the math, but when we look at the data, it shows that there's only 4 or 5 trips per day, very short distances. They're sitting outside all day long. So it's likely that the generator range extender will only kick on once in a while.
Yeah, that's great.
So that's what the solar is there for.
And so, obviously, steel construction for the rolling chassis. Then the body looks like they're either brake bend or composite vac formed components.
Yeah, we'll have a little bit of everything. Likely vac formed plastic on some of the hood components. And then, the doors right now are aluminum to keep the weight down. And so even things like, airless tires. So now you can't get a flat. So it's just checking off the things that break or create, downtime on the rental.
Actually, from a technology perspective, this is a really good use case for a tweel, right?
Yeah, low speeds, relatively flat grades. You don't want people going fast on job sites.
No, you do not, right? And these cannot puncture. If you get some dirt in there, you're not going fast. It'll still be balanced. On in automotive, you don't see tweels like this because you have more rolling resistance as compared to a pneumatic tire. But it here doesn't matter. It's more about how many hours of use do you get, right? Aerodynamics don't matter for you either. So you can use efficient, low volume production methods for your body. That's very interesting. So maybe, do you have a functioning interior unit already? I see
we do, yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, if you want to come around here, I can show you some of the inside.
How is video processing? Like, where are you guys at?
Oh, very spacious.
Yeah, so, very simple and clean. Easy to clean, nothing in here can break. It's like very minimal. So you see a lot of the use of this Molly panel around. So the idea there is, I mean, there's a million people who make a million accessories, kit it out however you see fit. So even like switches and buttons and like, just let's overbuild them, overspec them, so they're not fussy.
Make it a cockroach.
Make it a cockroach. You can't kill it.
Love it. Okay.
But even things like the windows rolling down, like, that's a complex system. So instead of doing that, we're like, let's just make these little sliders. That's kind of an easy way to do it. Right?
This is a great, from a cost perspective, right? You're taking out components. It can break. You can't kill it, right? If it's not actuated.
Yeah.
You're using planar surfaces here, so you don't have a whole lot of tooling associated with getting 3D curved glasses. You just cut it out.
Yeah. And we, of course, you still want it the aesthetic to be appealing to the construction sites and fleet owners.
So I think it has a good.
It's kind of
for a job site.
Kind of a macho, a little bit military spec.
It's got a little muscle.
Yeah.
So in terms of, you have a bed in the back here.
Yep.
So it looks like some lockable storage.
Yeah. So we'll have toolboxes back here. Under here is where the onboard range extender lives.
Okay.
So easy to get to, and it's very platformable. So if that were to die, or you wanted to switch to propane and use it indoors, we could reconfigure the vehicle to do that. So. And the bed does not dump, and because this is really a people hauler on construction sites, we're not interested in hauling equipment and material like gravel and cement. Like, that's not how these are used on the job site. So,
will you always sell it with a range extender?
Likely, yeah. Unless you really beef it up with more battery, but
Very interesting.
these are these are some of the first pieces of equipment that show up at a job site. So if you're there before some of the utilities, you have to rely on the fuel like gas or diesel.
So what's your main competitor that's used in the market right now? What would this compete with?
This would compete with the buggies or UTVs that you see on any job site today.
Okay. Makes sense. Yeah.
About the same price point, but we're really just trying to solve the math equation, which is the return on investment.
So, but this is a traditional frame, right? There's a frame.
Yep.
And then the battery. Do you use is the battery isolated, or do you use it structurally?
It's isolated. It's not structural. Yeah, it'll be in between the framework underneath there and underneath the rear bench seat.
Yeah. So, I haven't seen a plug. Have I just not seen it, or there's no plug?
On the other side, but
oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
So, you could plug it in, but we don't think that you're going to need to very often because of the solar on the roof, and then you really fill it up with gas or diesel.
So ideally, the use case will be this just sits in the sun on the construction site.
Yeah.
Right, you get 1,000 watts from the sun per square meter. Yeah. It's going to be on the flat surface here, right? So you have 4 square meters or something of that sort, and then you don't even have to plug it in. Maybe you don't have power at the construction site yet.
So then, then when the battery is at a deficit, let's say 30%, that'll kick in and let it.
So there is a case to be made even when the construction site is not powered yet.
This can show up and
this can show up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yep.
And so you're an American company, made in the USA. You're from Chicago.
Yep.
You want to make them in Michigan.
Morey is a 91-year-old company. Our core business is rugged telematics. So we've been in business for a long time, building unbreakable IP69K trackers, sensors. So really that married with this opportunity, it becomes sort of call it the Teslafication of a UTV. It's really a vehicle that can deliver.
Can mount accessories here?
Yep, this is intended, bungee cords. There's a lot of, kind of bring your own user-generated content, really. You can, lots of different ways to upfit this vehicle.
Yeah, it's a very interesting vehicle.
Yeah.
And so, doors aluminum, the roof.
Yep, that's
and
all
the structure
steel.
here, that'll be steel.
Yep.
Okay, the
aluminum on the roof rack there, but
okay.
And then the solar sitting up there. But we see big opportunities in the use of LiDAR. Even like, can this be autonomous? Can this go kind of like a Roomba and go collect data on the job site?
Monitor. Yep.
Yeah.
How many kilowatt hours do you have in battery?
We're aiming for 18 to 20.
18 to 20.
Yep.
NMC.
I'm sorry.
What kind of chemistry?
I'm not sure yet, but
Still.
probably that. Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
No, I see the vision. I think it makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense.
thanks.
And right now, there is no optimized product in that market, right?
No,
you have to start with a clean sheet. And
exactly.
question every component. Do you need it? What should it be? How can it help the customer?
Yeah, we started to say, no extra molecules. Like, if it didn't deserve to be here, it was out. If it had to be there, make sure we overbuild it. And if all of those things, like I said, then at least make it easy to get to if it is going to break.
Right.
So that it's uptime that we're after is clean and simple and easy to get to, and but still have an aesthetic that people enjoy and would have fun driving. So
why are you going with coil springs and dampers instead of a leaf spring?
Packaging mostly. Yeah.
Yeah, with this beam here, it'll be a little bit difficult to do.
And it looks cool. In some of the early prototypes, we had leaf springs, like in old Jeep Willys.
Yep. And from a development perspective, you can just swap out different springs and dampers.
Yeah,
right,
easy to tune, readily available. So, it's not our goal to redesign every component, obviously. Yeah.
Now, in terms of brakes, obviously you can brake with the motors. I don't see brakes behind the wheels.
Yeah, we haven't hooked them up yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like you're gonna have drum brakes.
Yep.
Okay. Now, would it be road legal?
That's not our goal. We could probably turn that into it, but it's aimed squarely at big construction sites. I was at Stargate, the AI data center being built in Texas a couple months back, and there was nearly 1,000 buggies just on that site.
Yeah.
So it's a very useful piece of equipment, and so we view this less as a vehicle and more as a construction equipment.
Yeah.
And thus the aesthetic, and it all kind of like that's our starting point, right?
Well, I love the philosophy.
Yeah, thanks.
I haven't heard about you guys, but
yeah,
I'll be following closely.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah.
This is, I think our people are going to appreciate on the channel.
No, it's great. Yeah.
Thank you again.
Yeah, thanks for your time. Yeah,
Best of luck.
appreciate it.
Yep. All right. Thank you, everyone. And please hit like and subscribe.